Module 5, Lesson 1, Theories and Principles in the Use and Design of Technology-Driven Lessons. So as to start, introduction. How teachers integrate technology in teaching and learning process depends very much on their beliefs on how people learn. Specifically, they need to know who their learners are and how to approach instruction. As educators, their role is to provide learning experiences that will help achieve the defined outcomes. In this module, you will be acquainted with different theories and learning principles specifying this Dale's cone of experience. So, the intended learning outcomes in this module, we will be able to familiarize with Dale's cone of experience and provided classroom processes or practices that exemplifies each strata or of the cone of experience. Also provided examples of the various instructional materials appropriate for given instructional context. In preparing to become a teacher, there are elements that should be taken into consideration. One way of putting it is the 8 M's of teaching, and each element contributes to ensuring effective instructions, and it guides the teachers in choosing the kind of instructional material in teaching. So as you can see in the presentation, I highlighted the number 4 and the number 5 with a reference to 8 M's of instruction. One element is the media and another is the material. These 2 M's are actually the elements of the cone of experience. Edgar Dale's cone of experience relates well with various instructional media which form part of the system's approach to instruction. So the cone is a visual analogy, and like all analogies, it does not bear an exact and detailed relationship to the complex elements it represents, says Edgar Dales. And also, this cone is designed to show the progression of learning experiences from concrete to abstract learning. So when we say concrete learning, it has to do with the first-hand experiences, and the learners has some control of the outcome. And when we say in the abstract learning, um, difficulty when not enough experience or exposure to a content or experience. So this cone also has to do with Jerome's Brunner's levels of or theories of instruction. There are 3 levels in the learning processes. So first is the inactive. Next would be, or the second is the iconic, which is the representation. And the last is the symbolic or the abstract. It involves words, visual symbols. So in the abstract level or in the symbolic level, which belongs to the verbal symbols and the visual symbols category, it has to do with the information. And in the iconic level, um, it involves cognitive skills, and in the inactive level here in the bottom of the cone, it has to do more on motor skills and attitudes. And then so as you can see in the cone, all teaching learning must move from the bottom. So I forgot to say that here in the bottom it is concrete learning here, and in the upper be the abstract learning. So all teaching And learning must move from the bottom to the top of the cone, says the means in the Edgar Dale's cone of experience. And more emphasis should be put in the bottom of the cone, so here in the inactive level. And the upper level of the cone is for the older students, while the lower level of the cone is for the younger students. So the version of Dale's cone of experience with percentages as to which band will hone higher order thinking skills and engage more may be confusing because it may not necessarily mean that learning better takes place when materials or activities belong to the upper level of the cone, or that the nature of involvement is more active if it is in the bottom. And the descriptive categorization of learning experiences, other elements such as students' motivation, must be considered also. So we will be discussing the 9 experiences. Um, First, we will be tackling the inactive level. So for a purposeful experiences belongs to the inactive level. The direct purposeful experiences are first-hand experiences that serve as the foundation of learning, have direct participation in the outcome, and uses uh, all our 5 senses. Next, in the inactive level would be the contrived experience. Contrived experiences are substitute for real things when it is not feasible to bring the real thing to the class. And this includes the models, mock-ups, specimens, objects, simulations, and games. Next, in the inactive level would be the dramatized experience. These are commonly used as activities that allow students to actively participate in constructed experience through role-playing or dramatization. So it falls to 2 categories. The role-playing, which is you're actually doing the role play. So it is more on concrete because it involves motor skill and attitude. And the next is the observing. So you're just watching the role play. So it is more on abstract learning. Since you're just watching, you're learning the uh, uh, what is the play about, like that. And next would be the demonstration. Demonstration is a visualized explanation of an important fact, idea, or process by the use of photographs, drawings, films, display, and guided motion. And study trips. These are actual visits to a certain location to observe a situation or a case which may not available inside the classroom. Lastly, in the inactive portion or in an active level, the exhibits. These are displays of models such as pictures, artifacts, posters, among others that provide the message or information. These are basically viewed, however, there are currently exhibits that allow the viewers to manipulate or interact with the display, and as a result, the exhibit becomes more engaging and fun. So it has 2 types: the ready-made and the homemade. So when we say the ready-made exhibits, it has to do with the museum. And for the homemade, example of this is a classroom project. So this is the last one for the inactive. So next would be the iconic level. It includes this television and motion pictures. Television, immediate interaction with events from around the world. Motion pictures can omit unnecessary or unimportant material used to slow down a fast process. In this category, it can reconstruct the reality of the past so effectively that we are made to feel that we are there. Okay? And in the symbolic or in the abstract level, it includes this visual symbol and the verbal. So first, the visual symbol. These are more abstract representation of the concept of or the information. Examples of these are information presented through a graph or a chart. And it helps the students to see an idea or events or a process here in the visual symbols. And next is the verbal, the last in the abstract level. This category appears to be the most abstract because they may not exactly look like the concept or object they represent, but are symbols, words, codes, or formula, such as freedoms of speech, like that, or a concrete object or a book like that, or a scientific principle. So these are the 9 experiences of Dale's cone of experience. Um, so here, Dale's cone of experience provides teaching and learning models that allows teachers to understand how to increase the retention rate of the learners by involving the learner. And this means that while the learner participate and get involved in the learning process by expression, they awaken the sensory organ or their sensory organs. So thank you for watching.